Okay, let's share this out. There. Uh-huh. Hey, Granta. I thought you could use some extra cash, so so I got you a side job pulling a rickshaw. You're welcome. So I'm pulling myself. What did I see though? Pulling a rickshaw? Rickshaw? What did rickshaw? So the book everybody's seen before, Canadian Shield 1, but we now got it in the new comic page feel. So that is good. We're going to wait till a few more people get here to open the box with Canadian Shield 3 in, which is right here. Picked it up at the printer like an hour and a half ago, just over an hour and a half ago. So how are you, Grant? And then we have the absorb cards. Canadian Shield 1 is on my website. Canadian Shield 2 is on my website. And Snowdrift 1 is on my website. Canadian Shield 3 is not yet on my website. Probably around the first of the year, I will put it up on my website. And Canadian Shield 1 at the beginning of the year will be available on my website for digital download for free. Along with the Axe Pan. And I am good. Hey, Mike. Thanks for liking and sharing. Cool. Thanks for dropping in to say hi. I know you got your show in about an hour. What are you going to be doing on your show? I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing here completely. Obviously, a little bit later, if we get when we get a couple more people in, I'm going to open a box that's beside me that I just showed a couple minutes ago. This box here, it has the Canadian Shield 3, 100 copies. No, I've not moved it to Thursday nights till the beginning of the year. Probably most of my streams I'm just going to call chill stream. Tuesday nights will, when I start my thing again, are just going to be chill streams. I'm trying to be really laid back for the month of December. I got my main project done, Canadian Shield 3, and things are going to end up ramping up. Going to start a lot as of December or no January, probably I think 4th or 5th, whatever. January 5th is when I'm going to be starting a lot of stuff. I'll probably be doing a morning show Monday through Friday for about an hour just before I have to leave to work, except for every other Monday. Mondays I'm going to be trying to do a manga character, drawing a manga or anime character. Tuesdays I'll have my chill stream doing whatever. Wednesdays I'm probably going to try and do DC or Marvel character. Thursday will be the silhouette game, which we're going to be working on assets for that, either on air or off air, between now and the beginning of the month. Fridays will probably be nothing except for that morning stream. And Saturdays there will be a coloring stream. Of something presently going on with Cross Comics. Or maybe coloring some fan art or something like that. So that's what a little is coming up for. Thing. You're going to be going over an article featuring Hanna-Barbera. Oh, cool. Hanna-Barbera is awesome. Um, Back in the 80s, in an amusement park that's here in Canada, in Toronto area, called Canada's Wonderland, they had a section dedicated to Hanna-Barbera. It was like Hanna-Barbera Land. You could go there, you could see not Scooby-Doo, but, Yogi Bear. They had a Smurfs Village thing there. But how are you doing, Mike? Anybody other got any questions? If everyone could share, and like, it'd be great. Maybe get some more people in here. Faster we get more people in, the faster I open this box. I don't believe so. I think they were all plastic and nothing in them. Well, they were nailed down good. Yeah. Hey, Boo Boo, where's some picnic baskets? You know what? I'm gonna change to here. I wanna. There's my video. Yeah. So here's some. I recently did some videos on Vidu. See what you think of them. So let's get the pop up the chat so we can still see the chat. While doing this, pop up chat. Bring it over here. Make it go live. Have you considered more guests and interviews, maybe even a regular co-host? Yes, I definitely have considered all of those. I definitely wouldn't mind anybody coming on, usually, uh, my, the whatchamacallit is open, the Discord is open. I haven't gone in there, but if somebody's in the chat here and they tell me, hey, I'm in the whatchamacallit, the Discord, I'll go in and okay. So here this is 8 seconds, so we'll start at the beginning. Didn't quite do what I wanted. It was supposed to have her growing from 5'9" to the height of this place in Regina, Saskatchewan, but still looks pretty good. A few others of my various characters. My main 7. She's supposed to be flying above a place called Stanley Park in Vancouver, BC. Place that's where she's out of. The flame above Olympic Park in Montreal, Quebec. The way it's flying up to the top of the CN Tower. I like that one, actually. I really like that one. One of my characters called Japanese Shield, running through the streets of Tokyo at super speed. Here's some Christmas cards I tried to make. Christmas animated videos. Using my characters and some thing. You're gonna probably see, probably won't see this one because it really messed up Rudolph, messed up the Grinch, and Ebenezer Scrooge. Same with this one. But I actually like this one. I might try and redo it. Although my Frosty looks like Olaf. I'm going to try to do my characters around the manger. But, you know, it sort of messed them up. I don't mind what they did with Electide, but the Wiz, I have no idea what they're doing there with his arm. There's another one where they mess up. Not too bad, but this one is going to be crazy. This is a good one I like. Let's just get the 3 characters. I like this one. I'll probably use it. This is like a 30-second video. Bunch of clips together I did. I don't like how I'm running in. And then disappears. Some of John Sims. You can't get up. I like this one here. Although he's coming from one church going to another. Fighting Toxico here. Fighting the Buckler. With the size changing lady, maybe give her an aura and slow the shift in size. Yeah, well, it didn't even really shift her in size as far as I'm concerned. If you look at it, because if you look at her head compared to the thing behind her, it's just showing her that she's already that big from further away. It didn't, and it did give her an aura, which I didn't really want. I would have liked to seen her beside the building, and down beside the building, and as she grows, you're seeing the building more and more. So let's take that one. We'll take this out. References. Yeah, size is relative to what you're next to. Secto. So we're gonna grab Insecto, and we're gonna have him fly up from the ground and perch on top of a flag pole with the Canadian flag attached. And let's see whether it gives us that. I'm sure I put attached to the pole. Not bad, actually, not bad. Pretty much did what I said. I just would like them on top, perched on top of the ball of it, but I could live with that. The animations did look smooth. Thanks, Raul. I was just showing off some other ones that I did with this program, Voodoo. My character, Electide. My character, Ozona. My character, the Flame. My character, the Wiz. Character, a child called the Japanese Shield. He's running through Tokyo at super speed. I'm Flame. Well, you might be able to portray the Flame, but the Flame, of course, maybe of course, or not of course, but is lives in Montreal with a wife, and he has two kids. And these are just some Christmas stuff that I was trying to get it to do that didn't work. The Hong Kong Shield. I need to be on this book. Japanese Shield, not Hong Kong. But it's something that I was working on. I haven't did. I do have a couple other projects that I'd like to work on slowly. If you'd want to be on, might maybe be on them. Show this. That's pretty neat. Or this one. Yeah, damn. Okay. Actually, you want to come on? Let me put my headphones in. If you want, you can come on if you got the time. There we go. You're eating soup? Oh, okay, well. You want to come on after you finish eating soup? It keeps doing the same. I need to dinner just watching. Oh, okay. Uh, yeah, well, I'm trying. If you haven't, like and share. I'm trying to get some more people here so I can open this box. It's got the Canadian Shell 3 in it. But I want some people here chatting. Grant, you still here? Mike, you still here? Soup, I will try. Soup, up, and away! Yabba, dabba, do. Duba, yabba, dabba. Hey, Tim. Outcast. Hello. What's up? Sort of here. I got this box that wants to be opened, and then I want to open it, but I was waiting for a bunch of people to be here. It looks like we got 4 people here. So that might be good enough, I'm not sure. This box contains the Canadian Shield 3. But we do now have the Canadian Shield now in the format of the regular comic paper instead of just paperish. So me the open box. What if there's an Eddie in Switch Time in the Canadian and it's Canadian Shield 9? That would be really weird since I haven't even written Canadian Shield 9. I've written 8, but I haven't written 9. I know it's basic supposed to happen in 9. Well, not quite offhand. I do have written down who he's supposed to face and what town he's supposed to go from and to. So, and of course, we have the card that everybody's going to get. There's the back. What do you mean, what? What? Tim? You're only at Canadian Shield 3? Yeah. Yeah, but I've also got 1, 2, 3, and I've got Snowdrift 1. I'm not working on Snowdrift 2. That's going to be with Alpha now because I can't get a hold of Dillard, so I'm having to restart that right from the beginning. Okay, because you guys wanted it. There's slice 1, and just like that, the paper towel. It will absorb anything. And there's slice 2. Let's see whether we can hold this up so you can see slice 3. Slice 3. And they're free. $100 copies of the Canadian Shield 3. Yes, he is. But because of not being able to get a hold of Dillard, everything is delayed. Alpha will be working on Canadian Shield or Snowdrift 2 first, though. So there it is. Uh, Inside cover is a dedication to my dad. Back cover is where to find, and it's now got the image has, you know, a QR code. Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of him for over a month, Tim. I called him over a month ago now when I first got my new phone number. He picked up. We talked for like 5 minutes. He said, call me back in 20 minutes, stuff to do with the kids. I tried to call him back a little bit later than that. And I've tried to call him a few other times and nothing. And then the inside back cover has the credits. And then Piper's Pulpit and some fan art of Canadian Shield. And then, of course, the book has the story. I'd make a fake one so people think their phone or app is busted. With great power. Did he say Piper's armpit? No, Piper's pulpit. It smells nice. Okay, sounds like Palpatine saying unlimited power. So there we have Canadian Shield 3. And you know what? Let's take the cards out. Well, they do not smell like maple syrup. Maybe a little bit of regret. Similar concept to having your driver's license picture taken out of focus when you get pulled over and the officer and accuse the officer of being drunk. So I've got, I'd say, all except for one package, all the envelopes made up with address, name, and addresses on for everybody. The only one I got to do is I think Chris and Diana Temalevich from the Great Cyclopean. So there is Absorb's card. The purple doesn't look so purplish like that. Reflection is not making the purple look purple. I'm not sure why. And there is the back. You might need a magnifying glass to read this. Larson was born in Georgetown, Ontario, where he shortly after was abandoned in a city park. Okay, I did. This needs to be improved for the next printing, which I'm not sure when will be, but you might need a magnifying glass to read that. I have to say, the two comic extras I've gotten from comic campaigns are magnets and bookmarks. Stickers are nice too. Yeah. Hey, Alpha. Yeah, I've done stickers in the past. This was a stretch goal that people got to. Technically, it was supposed to be another character called John Sims, who is Canadian Shield's friend. I did not. I thought I had his backstory. I think I know a little of it, but I wasn't sure, so I got to go through it, find it before I did. So I'm replacing it with the villain. I'm thinking people will be much more happier getting the villain than a supporting cast member. So yeah, there is Absorb's card. I have two sets of reading glasses, one for fiction and one for nonfiction. And right in the corner there is the number on the cross comic symbol. We have the number. Again, you might need the thing to see it. I gotta make that bigger. This is the fourth card in the series. 3 cards were made available. 3 other cards were made available on the campaign. Well, no, this is the 5th one in the series. Sorry. This should be number 5. Because we have Canadian Shield, we have Messenger, we have Toxico, and we have Snowdrift. The first 4. Now this should be number 5. Absorb. And it feels like a slightly thinner material than the other ones. Give me a sec. I got some of them close by. Or I think I do. I thought I had them right here. I know they're up in there, but I don't really want to get that down. Oh, there's some Toxical ones. Oh, you know what? I actually like these ones better. The new ones. Um, that's where your card will be going in, Tim. I know you probably can't see your name too well. So your cards will be going in that envelope soon. After I'm off air, I'll probably be making that all up. Moderators get cards. No, Tim is referring to the fact that for the whatchamacallit. Come on, Rick, think of the name. The Silhouette game, with his points, he was able to get cards. So I've got your address all on there, but as you can see, I covered that over because I did not want to dox you, Tim. So there. So yeah, the front part of this is smooth. The back part, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's smooth, but I think this is a bit thicker. But the top one, this sort of feels more like a trading card than this. Yeah, so I like this one slightly better, the absorb one. Oh, Tim, I'm not sure. I don't think in your message you said which ones you got. You got three cards, right? You got Canadian Shield, I think, obviously. Toxico, and did you get Snowdrift? Oh no, no, you didn't get Snowdrift. Did you get Messenger? Were you able to get two or three cards? I forget. So Alpha, did you see me showing off the book yet? Did you write that down? No, I told you to send me something when you sent me your address, or probably before you sent me your address. Well, the Canadian Shield 1 remastered is now in the same format or paper. I'm sure you mentioned it on that live stream. So you're telling me go back and watch the live stream. Okay. Okay. So that is that. And then, of course, we have Canadian Shield 3. Rick, I'm a busy man. I can't keep track. I'm a busy man too. So there's the back. We now got a link tree, a QR code to my link tree, which will link to all these and more. Of course, the front cover by Chris Telemovich. Um, the inside front cover, dedication to my dad. Picture of me and my dad. Me wearing my Canadian Shield t-shirt. How did you get a QR code? Um, for your link tree, they'll give you one. And then there are places that you can go and get one for free. Some places it's a limited time, but if you look around, you can find ones for that aren't limited time. And then the inside back cover has the whatchamacallit there. Um, Credits. And then over here we have a bunch of art, fan art of the Canadian Shield. And then, of course, in the middle we have the book. No page wasted. See how it started and see where it is. You made good use of the space. Let me see all 3 issues. Okay. Hold on a sec. I think I. The second ones are up in a box up there. I'm not don't want to get them down right now, Tim. You know what? I'm going to need to because I gotta grab some of them for some of the issues for some of the people, so I might as well. Yeah, so. Now they are a book. You think last month it was just a bunch of computer files getting colored on your computer. Now they are a book you can hold in your hand. Oh no, Rick. We'll get killed by leftover copies. So here is the version of Canadian Shield just before that I've still got a few of. Master, and here's the new one. I'm not sure whether you can tell a difference. Or if I go like this, I think you'd be able to tell a difference. Because I think you can see a little bit of the glare off this one as I move it. But there's no real glare on this one. Oh, you really want to see. I know I got one for Dylan. Is that the second issue remastered? I'm not sure. I can't see the difference. There's the original first copy. How does it feel looking at all the books you've made over 5 or 4 years? Well, actually, I'd have to have an extra one in there for that to be the case. Yeah. I'd have to have this one. And then, let's see, we gotta add 2 other things in there. There is one cover missing, of course, Dillard's for. So let's see, what do we have here? We have Canadian Shield Ashcan. We have an original print of the Canadian Shield 1. My cover. We have Snowdrift 1. We have Canadian Shield 2. We have Canadian Shield 1 remastered. We have Canadian Shield 3, soon to be remastered. And of course, the Cross Comics coloring book. I don't know about that. Yeah, well, let's see. Technically, this and this are practically the same. Although, they're enough different, I guess you could be considered, because there's those two books side by side. There wasn't much difference between these two, but I guess in a sense they're two different books. They're the same book but different, so. And then of course, these are definitely all different. Canadian Shield Ashcan. Thought of this year, written this year, made this year. Well, actually, maybe a little bit made this year, and printed this year. Here's another couple pages out of the Ashcan, or I mean the coloring book. Here's a couple more. This Canadian Shield there was done by. Do I say who there? I don't know what page. Shinobi Sask. No, Shinobi. Shinobi 1. So yeah, it does sort of feel good, and we're we're working on 2026. We're hoping to have a minimum of 3 comics out. 3! Snowdrift number 2. The Flame number 1. And Canadian Shield 4. And actually, we're probably going to have Snowdrift's Ashcan out as well. And the Flame's Ashcan. And maybe Insecto's Ashcan. So we could have 3 major comic books out plus 2 to 3 minor ones. Because we do have Flint working on this. I actually have to write up the Flame one and Insecto if I want to do those. I do want to do the Flame. I would like to do the Flame for the Snowdrift Ashcan. And I'm not sure when I'd want to do Insecto. It's one. I might just put it up with everyone after that. Getting ready for build up for Insecto. So this is hopefully going to be a big year for Cross Comics. 3 and 3. 3 Ashcans, 3 comics. So we're gonna actually have to get her to Alpha pretty soon. Probably. I except for shoes. If we go to the chill stream. Here we were working on Carmen Gallo. His look. Just gotta redo the shoes there. Don't burn out, Cross. Oh, I'm not gonna burn out. Not even close. The ash cans don't need coloring, so I won't have to do anything there. They're just gonna go with campaigns. Writing is nothing. No, this is Carmen. Carmen Gallo. Carmen. Carmen. And then that's Cindy Spencer. She's at the end of the book, I believe. Yeah. This is Irene Gallo, Carmen's wife. I'm gonna be trying to do her up a little bit better. Wilma Cox, COX. Before anybody gets at me. I can take the shoes out of here too. And I should do a Nancy or Christy North one of those for you. And I actually know somebody with that, or knew somebody with that last name. That's where I got the idea. I used to use that joke too, Cross. No, I knew a woman with the last name, married actually my best friend. His name was Chris Waters. Well, technically it still is as far as I know. He's alive somewhere as far as I know. Unfortunately, a few years ago, he took off to places unknown because he got into some financial trouble. And unfortunately, a few years before that, his wife actually died on him. Um, he came home and found her collapsed in the doorway of their house or at their door. And her maiden name was Cox, Cox. These are all supporting staff of, or cast, not staff. Oh, and of course, then there's Rick Arrow. And I do have Snowdrifts done. I got to make sure I put that up in for you. I'm doing them in order of appearance. Um, in those, have you read Snowdrift 2 yet, Alpha? I know I showed you John's version of stuff. Okay. Uh, do do do. I can put that in the thing, but what John did, but we can quickly look at what John did. Page. And I have the turnaround for her. So this is what John did. You can have it the same, similar, different angles, completely different, you know. Do you know where you got up to in reading? Here's page 2. He did, for some reason, in the folder that I think I shared it with you. There are all the pictures of the house that she's supposed to be in, her apartment. You can change furniture for sure. I don't know why he decided to make her laying on the bed that one, page 3. And I had colored these too. I'll show you the colors in a minute. So here's her downstairs trying to watch TV. Yeah, but if you feel you want to do something a little different with a panel than John did, that is all right by me. Like the one thing I definitely would change is this arm looks a lot wonky. So, so here's what I did for the coloring. These are going to look a bit fuzzy. I had to grab the picture off video that I did. Yeah, but remember, it's also you know, you're reading the script. It's your vision of things. Well, it's yours and my vision at this point, instead of mine and Dillert's. This one here, this middle one, I think I would have liked seeing her coming, flying off with the doors open behind her, or whatever open behind her instead of a patio or whatever, or flying out a window. I forget how I worded it. Dillard is a comic artist pro. I'm not sure whether I'd say that. He's definitely a good artist, and he's a comic artist pro. Is that description in the? Let's see. I forget exactly what the script says, so let me bring that up. Doc. Snowdrift 2. Okay, page 1, panel 1. Sunset looking at herself in her newly finished costume. Panel 2. Not bad. Finally came up with a design I can live with. We might have changed this a little afterwards, I'm not sure. Sunset, panel 3, sunset radiates heat from hand. Now we're ready to take care of business. Panel 4, sunset flies out a window. Panel 5, sunset flies over the city of Edmonton. So we're probably, what we did is we took panel 2's dialogue, we're putting it in 1. 2 becomes, well, we shortened it to 4 panels basically instead of 5. So it does say window. He's not showing a window here, so that's, I guess it doesn't have to be, it depends on the size of the window, right? She is a, might be hard for her just to, like a 2x2 window fly out of, right? It'd have to be a big enough window for her to fly out of, but glass doors or something like that. Exiting onto a balcony or flying through them, I might like that a little better. But these are, I never really discussed a lot of things in calls with Dillard, so. Let's see. Here's page 2, colored. Page 3 colored. And all these had to be grabbed off of the videos that I showed off coloring this stuff. Um, 4 was in 2 parts. I think there's one. There's the other half, or most of the other half. What year were these drawn? 2023. And they were colored then too. Now that is a comic artist schedule. Yeah, well, all these were done in 2023 and in very short order. Shortly after the 6th page was done is when things happened with my mom and things became all up in the air for me. And it only till recently that I was able to start being able to even consider paying John money to do more. So I can put all that. Do you want me to? Do you want to put that all those pages up in the folder? You know what? I will no matter what. Oh, Canadians and no snowdrift. What is snowdrift? I thought I had a snowdrift 2 here. What did it? I should put that. Where is that? I thought I had a. Snowdrift Cuff Comics. Okay, can we move that? move. Okay. So oh yeah, 1 through 6 are page one's there's a PNG and a PSD, not inked. Page 2 is there as a PNG. Page 3 is there as a PNG. Same with 4 and 5 and 6 is a TIFF. Yeah, I want to use those inspirations. Flyfox Pro did ink them, but you've got the non-inks there, so I think that's all right. Yeah. Okay. You have access to Google Drive. You want to give me your DM me either in what's the name of it, Discord or on Twitter. What I can use, email or whatever I can use to share the Snowdrift 2 folder with you. Oh, okay. Shh. Let me know whether you got it or not. Alpha. Actually, for the most part, I don't mind. I just got to do some shoes and that on her. I'm not entirely happy with the face. I might try and use these images and create a blueprint of the place. Yep, I have the Snudger folder with references now. Okay. Let's. You know what? I don't have these on, but I'm not even. Let's see whether anybody is in the Discord on there. If you're not eating or anything and you want to come on air, Alpha, let me know. Or just come in. I'm in the Discord now. Okay, so let's just do new. Okay, so let's create a rectangle, I guess. We want to make that Control Z. Okay, so based off this, let's use take this straight line. Let's do that and that. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. We'll say it like that. Okay, so then we're going to make this brush a little bit bigger and we're going to take all that out there. This will be, we're also gonna right here above it. Lower one. Okay, so let's put that up a bit. We have Windows. This is probably a little bit longer than what we need it to be, so again, Windows. Looks like we have a door right about there. Door. We have a fireplace right here. Fireplace. We have a set of stairs. Do, 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 do. Stairs. Now this one door looks like it's gone into somewhere else. Right about here, we look like we have thing. And that's got a sink on it. Uh, um, do 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 do. Da, 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 da. I think we got a pantry here. Pantry. Okay, so that makes living room. You know what? We will put a table here, and this will be, although there's no wall, this will be dining. We'll call it area instead of room. Or we should put living area instead of living room. Okay, so do 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 do. So I gotta figure out some more stuff for this stuff. With where the kitchen is. Okay. Okay, so beside the right here, there's an actual hallway. Looks like there's a room here. So we'll assume this goes that way. So this could be possibly the garage. This is, I think, a room upstairs. You can't even see what I'm seeing, so. You know what? Let's. So let's. Okay, so you guys can see what I'm seeing now. Or somewhat see what I'm seeing. So we started. Uh, ooh, this I think is the hallway. Okay, so I think this is the hallway. Where is the balcony? Well, in the first scene, you're not seeing this house. This house is Snowdrifts. So that first scene was sunset. I don't know. I haven't determined where it is. It's just someplace in Edmonton, obviously, because she flies over the city of Edmonton. This is Snowdrift, Christy North's house. I'm not sure what Sunset lived in. I didn't. It could be a hotel room, as far as I know. Maybe she's just visiting, got a hotel room, a cheap hotel room, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not even sure. I'd say Sunset lives necessarily in Edmonton. So just tell me where she lives. How about we say where she's supposed to be, not where she lives in that first scene? I do know I'm the creator. I've made up a history for her, yes, and she travels and she wants to take out down drug dealers wherever. So she does, as far as I'm concerned, she doesn't have a permanent residence. With her flight ability, she could fly over the border no problem. So she could be originally from the States or she could be from Canada. I want to leave that ambiguous at the moment where she's from. But as for where she's at that this given time in that thing, okay. So she could easily. I'm not sure what she does for money. Um, let's see. Cheap motels in Edmonton. Hey, Matthew, how are you? Uh, Planning on serializing my supernatural mystery comic on Global. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see. Derek Motel. Do they have a So far, the first 10 pages are available. Cool. The nice letters. This could easily be the hotel that she's at, the Derrick Motel. What are you doing? I am. I'm half talking with my artist right there, Alpha Proto for Canadian not Canadian Snowdrift #2. I was trying to plan out the living quarters of the main hero, but he got asking about where the villain of the story is at the beginning of the book. So I'm trying to find what I might think cheap motel or something that she might be staying at. Um, so and I'm just trying to yeah figure it out. Let's see what we get when we say cheap hotel instead of motel. Fancy house. uh, Not really seeing anything here that really speaks to me, grabs me. Comfort in. Thought we saw the Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn Express. Visit hotel website. There we go. Yeah, continue. Rooms. Uh, Guest rooms, our rooms. Standard bed. This does say the suites have a balcony, so well, it says the standard room has a balcony too. So uh, right there is probably the balcony. You, if you want, you can use this. Can I save image? Do do do. Do 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 do. We want cross comics. I drift to. Save. Save that as well. And you can just put maybe in the place of this tall lamp there, have that right there can be the, you know, whatchamacallit, the full length mirror. Save image. Does that help, Alpha? Or it's not for the first page? I'll put those pictures up in. Okay, so those should be up there momentarily. They're in there now. You still there, Alpha? Anybody still here? Okay, so still here. Are you finding this interesting at all? Okay, so I was trying to use this. I think thinking this might be upstairs, but why would kitchens aren't usually upstairs? That could be garage, bedroom, upstairs bathroom, upstairs rooms. And that's what outside looks like. Or did, anyways, at the time I took these a couple years ago. That's the front of the house. I don't know why the Canadian Shield's in there. Actually, I'm finding it interesting to find backgrounds for my comics. Yeah, a few years ago, I went looking for stuff in Edmonton. You know, the usually was on a real estate site, and I found this. It looked like what I was wanting. I went through a few different things. Okay, those are both regular windows. That's a regular window. There, that window there, that's the laundry room. Looks like the laundry room, and according to that picture, that would be right there where that thing is above the thing there. But I don't know where it would be in accordance to this. Because we have what it looks like here for the outside. We have the garage there, and then what would look like the garage front hall. And then above the front hall, we have so the next floor we would have here. And then back here we start. And this is laundry. room. Yeah, that looks about right too. Let's just move this bottom one over slightly there. So right about like that. But oh, that's a 3-thing room there, so bathroom. That would be this room right here. So that looks like uh, uh, do a line there. Main bedroom. This is floor 2. So I don't know where to put the. This is a small bathroom. That could be the same bathroom, just. You know what? I don't think it can be. Because that looks like a wall there. Yeah, that's a different bathroom. And I'm not sure there's 2 plugs there. And that's 2 different rooms there because if you look at this far wall, there's only like 1 plug or outlet or white thing, whatever you want to call it. And then this one, there's 2 on that wall. Oh, you know what? That looks like. Well, that's got to be a closet of something. I was gonna say maybe it was the front hall, but that's gonna be the back of the house for that window. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so there. Whose house is she in? Who? Are you talking Christy? Or are you talking Snowdrift, or are you talking Sunset for she? Alpha. Snowdrift. Snowdrift is in her own house. Part of the deal she got with the government through Rick Arrow in the first issue. It's really skimmed over, I will admit. Um, let's see, we'll bring up Snowdrift one here if we can. Do, 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 do. 2 weeks later, uh, she's getting her new ID, blah, blah, blah. With all that said, they gave you $15,000 to spend on stuff for your new home. Let's go spend it. And then here, in these couple panels, we see her in a sewing room or whatever. Not the exact way it should look for probably, especially that window or whatever. Maybe that wasn't supposed to be a window. I don't know. And then probably the main bedroom out, exiting out into the hall there. Or her sewing room or whatever, I'm not sure. The Inuit? Who? Or who Inuit? If you mean Rick Arrow, he is native. I'm not sure what tribe or whatever. So, back here somewhere is the ones just pictured. Why are you calling Cross's character's names? Okay. He is native. I'm not sure what tribe. I guess he could be Inuit. And she is supposed to be Caucasian. White. I think in the South Islands of Canada, Hawaiians, if they're still there. So I guess he could be Inuit. He's native. Uh, when he was originally created, he wasn't supposed to be native, but through some stuff that John did, we've made him native. Or maybe with a name like Rick Arrow. It was. It will be revealed he is the Canadian Shield's great, 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 great nephew. Now that's not a bad idea, Alpha. Although it might be a few more greats, but or a couple more greats. I don't know. That could be a nifty, neat idea. That him and Rick Arrow are related. I've never thought of that doing that till you just mentioned it. So I've got to figure out. A man like Cougar will not be so alone. Well, he's not going to be so alone. He can teach him the ways of his people. I'm sure Rick Arrow already knows. um, or Canadian Shield already knows. I'm not sure. He can be psychic. No, they're not. That's not going to happen. Rick Arrow is definitely going to be a Snowdrift character, if you will. There's more to Rick Arrow to be revealed for sure. Canadian Arrow. That's a nice ring to it. Oh, 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 oh. So, I don't know what to say. What shall we do with the drunken cougar? What shall we do with the drunken cougar so early in the morning? Get enough Canadians and you can make a Canadian phalanx. I'm not even sure what that is. Phalanx? Oh, yeah. What is that last word? Like Cougar gets drunk. I didn't say man like Cougar. What shall we do with the man like Cougar in the morning? What shall we do with the man like Cougar in the morning? So early in the morning. I said Cougar. You know, the cat. Somebody got a cougar drunk somehow. Got them to drink alcohol. Oh, which is a shield formation. Well, first of all, I'm not sure whether I'm going to go with the idea that Rick Arrow is related. Although, can't say I'm not. I'm very tempted. um, if I remember it beyond today, beyond tonight. I'm not sure when, if ever, that information would get revealed or how it would get revealed. Write it down. Hello? Who do we have here? Oh, Grant. Hey, Grant. How are you?
Hey Rick, is this working?
No. Okay, let's see. Talk so see whether people in the audience can hear you. Grant?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's working. They should be able to hear you. Grant says it. Alpha says it's working. Okay, this is the first time. Well, welcome to being on the show. Is
Hey,
that Al Borland as your thing avatar from Him the Toolman Taylor?
oh, you mean my picture? That's me.
Oh, okay. Looks a little bit like Al Borland, the character of Al Borland. You know, Home Improvement.
Oh, okay. Well, that's much better than the comparisons I've got in the past.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
trying to
say.
find how to turn the camera on.
Uh, yeah, probably turn on if you bring your mouse down to the bottom. There's a thing that says turn on camera. No, since I don't have up Discord up, nobody will be able to see whatever you're showing, but I can bring it up if you want people to see what you're going to show.
I wasn't going to show anything. I just, you know. Now, I was just about to say I've seen how military, like just a little bit of military formation, can really blow away a disorganized mass of people. Because
Yeah.
I used to be in a medieval recreation society,
Oh yeah.
but because I live next to a military base, all the other people were military.
Ah, lovely.
So we made these four-man teams, and the main role, with like two shieldmen in the front, one or two shieldmen, and then long range people behind them, whether it be spear or pole arm. Sometimes a couple of them had archers, and we
Okay.
went into a melee with like let's see, probably a couple hundred people on each side. And our people were like, we had like three groups, and almost all of them made it through, and we won.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
But
Alpha
sorry, that's kind
said,
of
Grant says you sound nothing like Wolverine.
sorry, I know that was unrelated, but
What you said about, well, Shield, right? So, well, it's definitely great having you on. And of course, you can be on anytime. I think you know that, right?
yeah, yes,
So, yeah.
I like how you do research on the different uh what do you call it? The different rooms, but I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Geometry, for the different shots and everything.
Yeah.
I like that you do that research. Now, do you take pictures and to give to your artist?
Well, I'm not sure whether you heard me earlier. Usually, what I've done, like when a couple years ago, when I was looking for Snowdrift, the stuff for Snowdrift's house for Dillard for when he was doing this, is I went I went searching like Edmonton, houses that are up for sale or rent or whatever, and they got some pictures, and I'm like, okay, what do I feel would be what she would have, you know? And
Hmm.
I get, sometimes I have, about 5 or 10 houses or whatever, ones that I think are good, and then I, sift through them. Okay, what do I like? What do I like about this, and I slowly eliminate it to, down to one of the whatever number that I've chosen, or whatever the ones I got, went through. And it's like, at a certain point, it's like, okay, I've got enough to choose from now, no more. But, like, I think it's good to have for the artist, like, even if it's me doing it, at least then I know what this place looks like. It's something people, they can see it, right? Especially your artists, instead of making up off the cuff and there's no continuity. I want
Right.
I want the continuity there. This is the layout and all that of the place, and I did that even in the Canadian Shield 3 there with John Sims. I went and looked for his place. What do I want? This is what I want. And although my artist didn't quite put in all those details. Hey, Jonah, how are you?
Hello there.
All the details I wanted, and he got some of them wrong too. It's like,
Your mic is muted.
Jonah, I'm not sure whether you're trying to talk. It doesn't look at it. I haven't seen any green go around your thing, but you are muted if you are trying to talk.
You can just hang out if you want.
Yeah,
I won't tell Rick.
Jonah's been in here before, so
I think I was around for one of those times.
yeah,
Sometimes you have to restart.
yeah.
Discord will do weird things.
Oh, he said something in the. Oh, he says I know it's an intentional. Okay, so he's meaning to have his mic muted. I meant to click on go to server. Okay. No problem. No problem, Jonah.
So when you were designing Snowdrift's looks, what was your inspiration?
Well, she was cold base, so I wanted to, give it a lot of blues, varying blues in her costume. That was the main thing, and then of course I put the cross in there. Just unfortunately, when I designed a lot of my characters originally, there was a lot of Christian motif in, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially being with it supposed to be a Christian superhero comic books. But I think I went a little overboard. So she's about the only one that actually has a cross in her costume.
That's my favorite thing.
Insecto used to have crosses on his arm, just like aligned. But it was like, okay, it just doesn't. Some things it doesn't make sense, and yeah, it's good. I think it works for her. It's a nice way to divide, her costume, parts of her costume, and it gives that other color other than blue.
I have seen ice be a very light green.
Yeah, I think it all depends on how the light hits it too. Because ice can be very reflective.
Well, that and the water, depending on the water that was frozen.
Yeah, and her name's Snowdrift. Cold is thought of as blue for some reason. So very seldom, I think, do you see ice that is bluish. It's usually clear or white, but we got cold as blue. So I was in my teens when I created her costume, so. And I liked it, like I've recently updated Insecto's look, so I'm not opposed to updating looks. It's just whether it's feasible or, warranted or whatever. Like Insecto was just basically all gray with his symbol, and I wasn't really looking to update it, but I went to I was trying to do the turnarounds for him for whatever reason. And I'm like at his trying to do his back, and I'm like, how the heck would these wings attach in real life? And in doing that, it led to me redesigning his whole costume.
For costume upgrades, you could always incorporate it into the story, like they did with Spider-Man's black outfit.
Yeah. Well, I haven't for Insecto. I haven't actually had a comic out for him yet. So the fact that I've upgraded it before or changed it before, I don't need to do anything with. If I do some updating for, say, Canadian Shield, which I have thought of, maybe doing something in the future. Possibly, I'm not sure exactly whether I will. I've got ideas for that, and then any of them, like you said, you can come up with ideas to update, their things. I've got ideas for how to power them up. Like my character, the Wiz, he's supposed to be a genius, all right. So one of the things that I believe he's going to do is once they become a team, he's going to analyze his teammates and say, hey, you can do this to do better. Like one thing he's going to suggest to Snowdrift is start making ice constructs, and more
Now, wouldn't she have to learn how to animate them?
well, it depends on what, the constructs to do, really she's at first, probably for the first year and a half, she's making some sort of ice shield, like a block of ice almost, right? She's freezing somebody in place, so it might go around their body form, or she's shooting ice blasts or whatever, stuff like that.
Here's an
Simple.
idea. Oh,
Go ahead.
a pair of ice wolves that crash against the opponent. They rush them and crash against the opponents.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of like complicated. Eventually, she's going to create some complicated constructs, like have some sort of ice bike that she can create and just pump the snow through it to make it propel forward. I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but the Wiz is going to suggest making these more elaborate constructs, and saying, "Oh, you can do it this way, this way, this way, this way." And my character Electide, she uses electricity a lot. She can grow, but my character the Wiz again is going to suggest, why don't you get a pair of like brass knuckle type things, and now you can use electromagnetism.
Well, she can transfer her electricity through Snowdrift's ice.
Well, yeah, that might be a way in working together that they will be suggested to or whatever, But they're Electide and Snowdrift are, on the I shouldn't say different sides of the country, but you know, I'm not sure whether you know how much Canadian geography you know, but Snowdrift is in Edmonton, Alberta, and um, Electide is going to be in Regina, Saskatchewan, which is a couple provinces over.
All right.
So,
I'm glad you're going to have team ups
yeah,
or teams.
yeah. Well, I'm going to form my Avengers slash Justice League. I know when I'm going to form it and all that. It's just I want to have a certain number of issues out first, which at this point is going to be a long time. But hopefully, with things starting to amp up this year, and if I can get the more money I can get, the faster it gets. If I can get my people buying in, right?
Right.
More money I make, the faster I can pay artists to do stuff. Then it's just going to be finding the artists, because I've got to find a new Snowdrift artist after number 2. Not that I don't want Alpha doing Snowdrift, but if I have it, I don't want him working on 2 right together like that, Snowdrift and then or Canadian Shield and then Snowdrift, because then there's no time in between. So it means longer time period before I can get one out, one of the 2 out. If you
Have
know
you
what
considered a corporation or something that will sponsor certain heroes and teams?
I'm not sure exactly what you mean. By that.
Almost like Shield, but it would be a private organization.
Oh, you mean like that? Doing that in my comic universe.
Right.
Yeah, I've actually developed a government formed team. That's supposed to keep track of the heroes. They're called Shift. Super hero. What's that even stand for? I know it's supposed to. Superhero Investigative Force Team. So that
That's cool.
pardon? That's
Oh,
cool.
I just said that's cool. Cool. Groovy.
Uh, I've got the looks for them and all that, so I know who's gonna head them up already. And actually, you're gonna see them coming into existence in Snowdrift's title.
Yeah, I meant to get involved in this last campaign, and like an idiot, I kept putting it off. And then before I knew it, it was over. So I'll have to get them later.
Yeah, that's all right. There's time. There's time to get them all. But just
Now,
remember,
how many campaigns did you do, like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, or?
for Canadian Shield 3, I did a Fund My Comic campaign, and then I did a Kickstarter. And
Ah,
I just did the Kickstarter because I knew I had the time in between when I said I was gonna deliver and when the first campaign ended. Next time, I think for Snowdrift 2, I think I'm gonna do a campaign on each platform at the same time because I plan on having it like 99 or 95% of the way done before I start that campaign. Because well, it's a pain rushing at the end, and I didn't like it, and just various things. Uh,
well, that's cool because you'll get better at it. You'll learn the ins and outs every issue you publish.
yeah. Jonah was saying, was it Superhero Investigation Federal Trooper? Oh, I think it would be Troopers, but yeah. Um, it could be, but it's definitely a good idea for the F and the T. Let's see. I thought I was seeing a Wonder Bread bag over Miss Fantastic and thought that, okay, joke. Oh, okay. I just, Jonah's putting some chats in the chat. I don't know, but I'm just having to notice when he does it. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
because there's a type chat in our our voice chat.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, I just saw the one up in the corner of the on air, and I'm like, what? Oh yeah, there's the thing. There's the type chat in this too. But yeah, I've got lots of ideas planned. Some it's just vague. Like I know for the next three up to 18, I know what city Canadian Shield's going to be in because of his journey, and I know what villain he's supposed to face, and I know some other events that are supposed to happen in that time. Again, with Snowdrift, I know for her first 17 issues who she's supposed to face. A bunch of my characters, I know who they're supposed to face, and like I think it's with issue 18 Canadian Shield, 19 for or 17 for Snowdrift. is when though I'm supposed to be forming my team. It doesn't say that one. Do, 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 do. Okay, it's the 19th issue of Canadian Shield where they start to form my team. So it'll be 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, and 13.
Yeah, this isn't an interview, Jonah. We're just shooting shooting the bull, just talking. Hey, Rick, how much information do you give your artist as far as do you just give them a general idea of the plot and say go at it, or do you write it out like a script?
I do write it out like a script. Here, give me a sec. I'll show you what I do if I gotta bring.
Hey, Alpha, who would you cast if you were casting like an animated series with Wolverine? Who would you cast to do the voice? If you're still here, Alpha.
Fit to. I want that fit the screen. Okay, so this what you're seeing here is this is what I've planned out for Canadian Shield. First, it says first 60. That's what I was planning on writing when I first came up with this, but I only got up to issue 19. Although I know 67 begins the Hell Year of Hell story arc for each Cross Comics book with him, so it's like and then 66 for her. This is all my main characters. I know who they're battling, as you can see. But as for a script, let's. I'll bring up Insecto because I haven't went through it with Metal for some editing. This is what I've done in the past. Is something like this. A caption, It all started the night I was on my way to Newcastle, New Brunswick. Panel 2, blah, 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 Sometimes you get a little bit more, but I'm thinking a lot of these captions tell you what what's going on, Like here we have panel 5 says Insecto stops in mid-sentence and he thinks, I can't say my real name, otherwise my wife will kill me. But what can I call
Alpha
myself?
Proto has some advice for you. He says you need to add descriptions.
Yeah, I'm getting better at that. This is one of the first scripts I wrote. Insecto looks himself over, see what appears to be an eye on his chest. What could that stand for? Sir?
Oh, I hate that. Finding random eyes on your body. You get to a certain age and just weird things just start happening.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's changed his look entirely because he's looked like a normal guy, and then he's looking like the superhero Insecto, and he's like, then he sees his reflection in the metal on a fire truck. My face looks like it's some sort of insect. Guess I'll have to go with that for now. Sir? The name is Insecto. He was gonna go say man, and he ends up just trailing off. Insecto. What a
Uh,
corny name. Did you? And the woman. Did you say Insecto? And then he's thinking, Insecto. It's not as corny, but where did she get the O from? It must have slipped out when I started to think what a corny name Insect Man is. Yep, that's what I said. Reporter 1. This is JBKC News. TV reporting. At the scene of the tower blazing afire, where the valiant hero has rescued a woman from about 15 stories up. The hero is, however, not an ordinary one. He appears to be some kind of insect superhero, and this would make the 5th superhero appearance in the last 4 months. So, yeah, I'll admit there's not a lot of description on this. I'm not sure. Well, like I said, that was one of my first. I'm not sure. Do I have like Flame 7? I know I've Flame 7. A cigar half gone in Diesel's mouth. You ain't getting me, you fire producing factory. Diesel shoots gas from his spray guns. Diesel running away from the gasoline all over the ground. See you later, Firebug. Or maybe not. Diesel tosses his lit cigar into the gasoline. Panel 5. An explosion of fire everywhere. Flame. I've got to secure the area and make sure all are safe before anything blows. Flame searching all. Hello? 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 Anyone in here? Penalty. Child. Help! Help! Hey! Marissa Arts, Insect Man, is an H tag. Laugh out loud. What is an H tag? Flame flying towards the cries for help. Hold on, I'm coming. Not Insecto Flame thinking. Stupid idiot chugger. Look what he did. What he did. What he does. My grammar's bad. Hentai hashtag 18 plus comic / manga. Okay. I've definitely never heard of that. That stupid trucker. Look, that stupid idiot trucker. Look at what he did just because he doesn't want to go to jail. Just burns me. Flame gathering child into his arms. Come on, I'll get you out of here. And when I do, I'm going to find that guy and teach him to have regard for human life. Secto flying away from the blaze with the child in his arm. Transport truck blows up. Sound of splash, title, whatever it's going to be. Sound effect. Boom! The explosion pushes the flame forward at an uncontrollable speed. Looking forward, the flame sees a wall coming up fast. Thinking to himself, oh no, we're going to hit that wall with the child taking the brunt of the blow. I can't let that happen. But how? I can't slow down or stop in time. I've got to flip myself so I take the brunt of the hit. Flame moving himself so his back will hit the wall first. Flame hitting the wall about 30 feet up in the air. Flame falling to the ground, I should say, with child in hand. Flame hitting the ground back first. Flame lying on the ground, face up, with arms to the side and the child on his belly. Flame, no more pain, please. Fireman comes up beside the flame. Are you all right? I'm great. That was awesome. Can we do it again? Flame. I'll be all right after the pain goes away, I think. As for doing it again, it wasn't that much fun for me, so only if I have to, and then I'll think twice about it. Flame, what happened to that lunatic who started this fire? Fireman. He made his getaway as soon as the fire started. Flame. Drat. I can't get him now, but not to worry. I have an idea I'll find him later. So that's the first part of the first five. So I get a lot more I think I get a lot more descriptive, or somewhat more descriptive. What do we got here? H tag. Grant says, you say Canadian tentacle man. He should weld 8 shields. I've thought about trying to write comics, but only know how to write prose. What is prose? Grant?
Prose. Oh, I forgot I was in chat. It's prose. It's just, the writing in story format.
Yeah, well, it's just taking them what you write that way and dividing it into a page and panel, what you think will fit on a page, and then into panels. I've had to somewhat.
Sequential.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say sequential story writing is a talent all in its own.
Yeah, like
It's
I had a friend that I had start this with me. He'd write the paragraphs or whatever. Sometimes it would be pages. I'd have to end up dividing it up into pages and panels and all that, and figuring it out. So it takes a little bit of process, but like if you're writing, whatever the story, you're writing the story. It's just figuring out how, okay, this through this I think will fit on a page, or this through this I think will fit on in a panel. And Marissa Art says it takes practice to write them. Yeah. Yeah. So this took me a little, like I got better little bit by little bit, and I like well, what's his name said? Alpha. I need to get more descriptive in certain things and all that. And this one here, I haven't really looked at it for a long time. I wrote it up or whatever. Now I've got to go in and probably do a lot more to it to get it up to my editor standards. uh, uh, let's take that off. Browser off. And let's bring this. Let's bring Discord up so we can see what's going on here. Oh, Jonah left.
mm-hmm.
Jonah might be.
I tried to tell him I tried to tell him it's not an interview, but
Side chat. I don't want to speak this since this seems like an interview and not. No, Grant just came in and we started talking. He just, I guess, had questions and I'm answering them.
Yeah, Discord can be difficult because it don't allow people to talk at the same time.
Yeah. Marissa says, I'm still here. I think Marissa on YouTube. Yeah, I was thinking Marissa might have been Jonah. It takes practice right there now. Word of advice, if you thought about a story that is a set number of pages or books, chapters, always double it just in case it goes beyond that. Yeah, that's definitely an idea. Or you just start writing and, like, if it ends up being, a, you know, you want a 20-page comic and it ends up being a 40-page comic, it's a 40-page comic. Maybe you make it two comics, 20 pages each.
Um,
Welcome
I
back.
I literally just tabbed out to go into a different call.
Oh, no problem, no
I
problem.
I was on YouTube typing out some stuff as well. Uh, yeah, no, the advice I gave is actually genuine because you can originally plan for a set amount. Sometimes you go lower. Most of the time, you overshoot it.
Yeah, that
And
sounds a lot like a friend of mine, Chris Tomalevich. He just did a comic called Darkness Dies. He originally planned it to be like 60, 70 pages, and it ended up over 100. Almost like
yeah,
a double.
oh, plan. You can plan for a set amount, but double it in case in case it's going to go overboard. I put in the side chats. Yeah, I'm looking at my own work. There's 250 chapters.
Oh, yeah.
And if I double it, that's 500.
Oh, wow.
It's probably going to end up being 1,000 chapters very easily, just because of how I work and write for the things I'm working on.
Yeah.
But moreover, I'm mostly working and focusing on the story Bible as a just in case someone wants to look through it and see how it works. They
Yeah.
can actually look into the actual way I'm actually writing it just to see how it functions internally. But yeah, when it comes down to the pros of writing anything, it's both person by person, company by company, and a lot of practice to actually get the exact way you want to write it down.
Yeah.
That gives both freedom and liberation for whoever. But if you want to be super nitpicky and really restricting, you write down paragraphs of how it's supposed to play out, and you're better off writing a novel at that point. But you're making a comic, so pros and cons.
Yeah. Good night, Outcast. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't, remember to hit the like, share it out.
Good night.
Yeah. Um,
I did join a story writing contest a few months ago, and I joined it way too late, so I had to write 50,000 words in like 2 weeks.
Ooh. I'm not sure whether I've ever read a story, written a story that was 50,000 words.
It's actually not that long. It's just that I had joined so late.
Yeah. It depends on how inspiration hits you. You could probably do that fairly easily. I'm not sure how much that would be. 50,000 words.
I'll link it real quick.
That's roughly 40 pages.
It was supposed to be in the format of a Japanese light novel.
Yeah, it's roughly 40 to 100 pages. That is a lot of writing. It may not seem like a lot, but that is genuinely a lot.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, my computer crashed right after I joined it, and then the floor fell through. So I was sitting on a stool, lopsided, like the floor was like a W.
Lovely.
And I had to buy a laptop. I was lucky I'd been saving up for something else so I could get the laptop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you're right smack in the dab almost, aren't you? Of like Canada, as far as east and west.
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit more east. I'm probably not right in the middle, but as far as coast to coast, miles or kilometers, you want to say, probably not right smack dab in the middle, but I'm in one of the more populated areas, that's for sure. Probably the most populated area of Canada.
Sorry about that. I keep going off topic.
Oh, no problem. Hey, I don't think there is a topic. It's just whatever comes up. It's not like I'm right now trying to promote a book and that's the topic or something like that. Like I did my opening of my box of my Canadian Shield 3 comics, showed off the cards for Absorb. So, that's good. So, so then it's as it says, chill stream. It's chill. We just talk, do whatever. Talk about this, that, and whatever.
Okay, so you said you got the Molotov cocktail, and I have the flamethrower, right?
Sure.
All right. Anarchy.
Anarchy and Bedrock.
Bedrock
No, we're not in
Anarchy.
Minecraft.
I was more thinking Flintstones. In the
It is.
town of Bedrock. Na 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 na. Yeah, the modern Stone Age family. Unfortunately, I don't know the lyrics to that song. Wilma.
Yeah, I'm struggling to stay awake.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be ending soon here. I end up going an extra hour. I've gone about an extra hour now because just as it was about to end, somebody popped on in my chat. So I'm like,
Sorry about that.
oh, no problem, no
Yeah.
problem. I didn't want to, especially since he'd never been on before. I didn't want to say, sorry, you're out of luck. I was just ending the stream. Hey, sometimes
My
you don't plan
power
for
of
the.
inconveniencing people is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh yeah. Well, you're welcome anytime, Grant. As I said earlier, if you're in the chat and you want to come on, and I'm not in the Discord, just say, "Hey, Rick, get in the Discord. I want to come on," and I will. Or just say, "Hey, Rick, I'm in the Discord," and then usually I'll get on. Sometimes, for the longest time, I was coming in, and then I stopped, and I was coming in. But when nobody comes in, you end up saying, "Yeah, what the heck is the use?" Why even have my headphones on then? Why? My headphones, they're all right, but they're not the most comfortable or whatever. So why not be comfortable if I can not have my headphones on? Why look like a weirdo with them on when nobody's here? I don't mind looking like a weirdo if somebody's here to talk to.
I can't wait. I've gotten so used to wearing headphones because of the living situation I'm in. I can't wait to get out of that when I have the opportunity.
Yeah, well, the main reason I do it is that way when the volume comes off my TV, if it came off my TV, my mic doesn't pick it up. And that's the reason a lot of people on air like this would wear headphones now. If you're wearing headphones when you're not on a chat like this and having to watch stuff or watching stuff on computer or whatever. I know what that's like because when I was out in BC, I did that, but here where I'm living now, most of the time, I can have, as long as I don't have my volume up high while I'm watching stuff, I can watch it without headphones on, and it's decent. I don't have to wear headphones. So
I'm gonna,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna hop out of Discord and
Okay,
stay
well,
in chat.
yeah, well, I was just about to end anyway. So anything you want to promote, Grant?
Not really. I left the link in the Discord. The this chat.
Yeah.
Actually, a few of them. The
Uh,
first one is the contest I was in.
oh, okay. And I see that you don't have a link as there. So if you want to put that link in the main chat, you can. I just gave you regular standard moderator powers, so you can do
Thank you.
that.
Oh, well,
So Granton's going to promote a story that he did over on I'm not sure what the site was offhand.
Honey feed.
Honeybee. Honey feed or bee?
Feed.
Feed. Okay, honey feed. Okay. So people go check that out. Looks like it could be pretty good.
I hope so.
Look like you got some pretty good comments on it underneath. His chapter comments. His pathetic end. Astonishing. Oh, for each chapter they can say things. Epilogue. Go into edit novel and hit on the tab there. Hey, remember you need to mark your novel as finished for it to be entered. Oh, it's just
It's where it goes from bottom to top
ah.
as far as sequential goes. All right, y'all have a good night.
Okay. Anything you want to promote, Jonah?
I literally just got here. I don't feel like I should.
What? Oh,
I don't know. Maybe my throne. Throne is like a website for gifting gifts to people that you like or know, streamers or artists or whoever, even friends or family. It's where is it? Right. Give me a sec.
okay. Well, you're doing that. And Grant, I didn't mean necessary. I don't mind you putting it in the regular Cross Comics Discord here, but I meant in the YouTube chat.
Oh, I already did. Oh,
Oh,
YouTube chat. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Uh, Sorry about that.
I gave you a wrench on YouTube so you could post the link to it.
Okay. It's been a while since I moderated.
Yeah, well, you don't have to do anything of the moderation. It's just so you can post a link if you want to. And what was that, Jonah? Sorry.
Sorry. If you want, you can go through it. Not right now on screen, but you can go through it, see if it's able to be put there. I put it in a side chat. For the most part, I do a good chunk of NSFW content. I do retweet some NSFW stuff, and along with posting some. So a lot, even on the Throne page, there are stuff like that. So I do recommend some caution.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just a little heads up when it comes down to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say thanks for everybody coming on. Thanks for everybody in the chat for coming by. It's been great having everybody here and chatting. We will probably see you. Probably won't see you to Monday because I'm working Saturday and I don't usually do anything on Friday. So, yeah. So we'll see everybody Monday.
Thursday, right?
What was that?
Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, I have my date mixed up. Sorry.
No problem. No
I
problem.
have the same problem.
Okay, so good night, everyone. God bless. See you Monday for more chill stream. Bye for now. God bless. Love y'all.